Well, welcome everybody to the Eden Army podcast. I am your host tonight, Pete Robertucci. We do this little show every Thursday night, and we thank you for tuning in. A couple of quick notes, just like last week. Don't forget the Rally Point Solutions class in Daytona Beach on February 6th through the 8th, and then we are off to Mountain Readiness in May. Also, guys, another note, Wyoming Falls 2 is now out on Audible, and we'll be giving away a free copy tonight at the end of the show. And don't forget, subscribers always get double the chance to win. On another note, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and all that happy mumbo jumbo that keeps Russ off of my back. Also, about the Wyoming Falls thing, I don't know if I did I just mention this? I'm not sure if I did, but Millie Copper will be attending the Mountain Readiness event in Montana. So if you're going to that, you'll have an opportunity to meet Millie, the author of Wyoming Falls 1, 2, and 3, as well as probably 20 or 30 other books. So, yeah, so sign up for Mountain Readiness in Montana. I don't know what the dates are, but whatever. Patrick says Kick, of course, is blowing up over there. Patrick is super pissed. He'll be at the downtown. He's going to be in downtown Detroit. I'm sorry about that, Patrick, for sure. Tonight, guys, we're going to be talking about those pesky jihadists, and they're continuing to spread their religion of peace. The FBI foils a leftist attack in L.A., the Brown University shooting, and Bongino goes bye-bye. But first, let's see what the FAFO of the week is.
Is this him? Back up! Hey! Stand in front of my car!
No, it's not that essential.
You're gonna get tased and it's gonna hurt!
Yeah!
Police arrived at a New York market after a report about a guy causing problems for the employees. And after he refused to follow their commands, they had to tase him, which, according to viewers, turned out to be one of the best and funniest tasings ever.
Stand in front of my car. Come here! Come here! Come stand right in front of my car. Come stand in front of my car.
Yeah, come here, you, my brother. Come on! Don't do it. Come on! Come on, do it. Come on, brother. Do it.
Taser deployed. Taser deployed.
Get on the ground!
Get on the ground! Roll over on your stomach! On your stomach! Roll over on your stomach, you're gonna get it again!
Get on the ground! On the ground!
Nothing beats a good taser video.
Gotta love it.
And I got a note from the World Wide Web type thing that Mountain Readiness will be July 24th through the 26th, 2026 in Swan Lake, Montana. So
very, very true. Be there, be square.
Yeah, exactly. Russ, how you doing this week, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm sporting some new swag.
And I like it. Oh, we're both both wearing green today. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like we planned it. But was weird as guys, none of us don't have to go change our outfit. You know what I'm saying?
No, could care less.
Exactly.
So guys, don't forget also, we got our prep of the week. We're going to go through that this week. And we are again, let me just mention it again, we are going to be giving away a Wyoming Falls 2 Audible copy. And Russ, how can people get involved with that?
Well, as always, if you use hashtag WF2, Whiskey Foxtrot 2, you can win a chance. You have a chance to win an Audible copy of Wyoming Falls Book 2 by Millie Copper, narrated by Peter. What's her name?
Miss Haley. Miss Haley. She does a great job on that. And Book 3 should be released by the middle of January, so you're not going to be having to wait too long. So go grab that, but don't grab it yet. Wait till after the show in case you might win it. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just going to throw this off to the side here. Perfect.
And folks, I've just upgraded to a new soundboard, and for whatever reason, it is giving my computer fits. So probably see this tonight.
There you go. That was perfectly on cue, actually.
Was it?
No, Patrick, it doesn't appear that it has to be capitalized or not. It looks like we've already got people. Diana, Kelly, Guy, Meta, Rev, Zen, Terry, Larry Dial, and Patrick are already in there
Yep.
in the raffle. So just make sure you do that. Man, those before we talk about the old pesky jihadists, Russ, I want to talk about the pesky leftists that decide that they want to go ahead and go out into the desert and prep for attack on the homeland. There are some interesting people. I'm going to run this video real quick, guys, and then I'm going to give you some commentary on what actually happened with this situation in LA.
Over the weekend, my office, along with the FBI, arrested members of a far-left, anti-government domestic terror cell who self-identify as the Turtle Island Liberation Front. The individuals were arrested on Friday, December 12th, when the group attempted to construct and detonate IEDs out in the desert. In addition to the arrests, we executed several search warrants throughout the nation. I want to thank our partners at the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Western District of Louisiana, U.S. Attorney Zach Keller, and the U.S. Attorney for the District of Massachusetts, Lee Foley, for providing valuable assistance over the weekend with a very complex and coordinated search warrants that were done. The charges we are announcing today stem from the defendants and their co-conspirators' detailed coordinated plot to bomb multiple U.S. companies on New Year's Eve. Thankfully, that plot has now been foiled thanks to the hard work of the FBI and the Department of Justice. This investigation was initiated in part due to the September 2025 executive order signed by President Trump to root out left-wing domestic terror organizations in our country, such as Antifa and other radical groups like the Turtle Island Liberation Front. As the president made clear, recent attacks across the country have highlighted the grave threats posed by these far-left domestic terror groups. These threats are sophisticated, organized campaigns of targeted intimidation.
There we go. So the FBI thwarted an attack by a group calling themselves the Turtle Island Liberation Front. A little bit about them. They are a pro-Palestinian, pro-trans group, and they hope to bomb businesses in the Los Angeles area on New Year's Eve. Charged are the following people: Audrey Carroll, Zachary Page, who happened to ask the judge if he would be able to go to a female prison, Tina Lay, Dante Gaffield, and Micah Legnan, who identifies as a trans woman, a witch, and a Satanist. And the only reason that this was able to be thwarted, Russ, was because of the executive order that Trump introduced earlier this year that allowed law enforcement to go after left-wing terrorists like Antifa and the Turtle Island Twinks.
Yeah. I mean, these Turtle Island Twinks, they've had no real presence since until about mid of 2025, and, they came out and they rejected peaceful protests calling for direct action instead. But it's ridiculous. It absolutely is. I mean, and evidently they got one of those guys was arrested down in Louisiana who was let's see, he was a Marine at one time. I understand Marines are not always Marines, but when they start acting, consider them Marines in the past, and so.
Yeah, exactly. And there was a book on Netflix, or I'm sorry, a movie on Netflix that I watched about. It was about a leftist group that they were the PETA, the environmentalist type group that actually had the same MO that this group here tried to emulate. They went out into the desert. They wanted to blow up, test their munitions. They wanted to blow up pipelines in Texas. And I wouldn't be surprised if this wasn't a copycat attempt at least something like this, only not pipelines, the vein of capitalism, if you will.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
There needs to be more like this. There needs to be more arrests like this, and they need to go higher and higher and higher. But we've beaten that horse to death.
I agree, and I
You know?
also think that I also think the funding avenues need to be figured out. And I mean, this is part
Absolutely.
of the EO. This was part of the reason why Trump did this, so he can go after the bigger fish. But it
Mhm.
appears that's not quite happening, or maybe it is, and it led to something like this. I'm not sure. I'm not in the
Yeah, not
know
in
when
the
it
know.
comes to that. Will says Trump gave over
Not
1.45
in
million troops
the know.
a 1,776 stipend this week. Yeah, he did mention that last night. He says it's coming from the money that the tariffs have generated. I was reading some scuttlebutt on the interwebs today that said actually that money's not coming from the tariffs, it's coming from somewhere within the defense budget. But I feel like if that were the case, then that money will be put back into the defense budget. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know the answer, Rev, if they are connected with the Turtle Island Casino in Wisconsin. I've never heard of them, but if you
Yeah.
put that in conjunction with what Patrick was saying about the Native American Canada thing, it might.
Well,
I've never considered or looked at that.
yeah, because Turtle Island goes back to the Native Americans, and they were saying that the world was created on a turtle's back, Turtle Island. That was a quick Google search I did on that, trying to figure out what the heck it was. So, so that's the way that one rolled.
Yeah, so I don't know what the answer. I don't know what the deal is. We got 12 people signed up for Wyoming Falls 2, hashtag WF2. So if you want a piece of that action, make sure you type in hashtag WF2 and we'll get you in. There you go. Look, it's right there. Boom, like magic.
It's a magical.
Oh, no. So Russ, this is the first year in my entire life that I'm going to be without baby girl for Christmas. Now, I've been on shift a few times during Christmas, well, more than a few times, but even then, baby girl and mama Tooch would come to the firehouse and we'd do dinner. However, since baby girl now has gotten older and starting to spread her wings, she's decided now that she's going to fly up to Wisconsin and spend Christmas with another man, Russ, another man.
Baby girl's growing up, brother. It'll be the first time in her life she's never been around.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You gotta let them spread their wings, man. You
I don't
know,
like it. I don't like it. I don't like any of it.
I'm not saying you have to like it. You gotta let 'em do it. You gotta let.
Nick, we're hoping you a speedy recovery, sir. Nick's tuning in from the hospital. They've kept him in there. He's getting a little procedure done. You'll be out in a jiffy, buddy. Let's see, Patrick 7. There's a Patrick. Oh, he's got some good stuff going on. That's too much, Patrick. The
Okay.
the peanut gallery can read that. Not reading it
Yeah.
all right now. Ain't
Oh,
got
yeah.
time.
Well, I noticed there's several people were asking about my hoodie. We'll do that real quick.
Okay.
Go to brokenspokesproductions.com. Go to the store. You can order it there, along with hats and mugs and coffee mugs and a couple of tumblers, which I haven't gotten yet.
Perfect. Getting back to baby girl going away for Christmas. Actually, it was. I don't know if you guys noticed on the social media stuff. I've been putting out a lot more little snippets and videos and stuff like that. Well, that's because baby girl finally wants to get involved with the business and do some marketing. So I taught her how to do the Opus clips. I taught her how to put those things out.
Very cool.
But of course, it's going to cost me. Don't get me wrong; it's going to cost me. But it's good, and she's really taken to it. She's doing a good job. There she is. There's Cheese Doodle. She's doing a super job at it. She's taken to it, and that's a kind of job I think she would excel at if she put her
Absolutely.
mind to it and
The-
knocked it
you
out.
know, this younger generation, and I'll have to say that because, I helped Egghead get his podcast up and rolling, and trained his son on how to be the production manager and doing the stuff like that. And it was like fish to water for these guys. I mean, us, it took us several weeks to learn the intricacies of Restream and get it to where we were comfortable. Week 2, he was rolling.
Well, was he
He
already
was just
just 2 weeks
absolutely
in?
roll. Oh yeah, I mean, I didn't even watch it last week, and I talked to him a little bit today because he got hit with his first copyright violation because of the music in the intro that I got off of a free source in Canva. So he's going through all
Yeah,
that.
well, welcome to the game, Egghead. Welcome to the
Yeah,
game.
welcome to the
Polly
game.
Ham just got
Absolutely.
off of work. Polly Ham, come on in, brother. Let's go and switch that one up there. Boom, gotcha.
There we go.
And Russ, we're gonna need to work on the scenes there also. You know the deal there.
Yep. got
Polly,
him.
what's going on, buddy?
Just living the dream.
Living
The dream.
the dream, the man says. We talked about already the FBI and how they foiled the attacks from a leftist group called the Turtle Island Twinks, apparently. And I don't know if you heard about that or not. You got any input on that?
This is news to me right now.
Yeah.
They're called the TILF. TILF.
Let's see here. Will, what are you talking about? Pete, would you consider adding some weekly preps to your podcast? Explain yourself. We do a prep of the week, so give me some. What do you mean by that? You're talking about giveaways.
Yeah.
Elaborate, young man.
Young Padawan.
Yeah. Eden Army, do you ever run into your camera equipment trying to update while you're going live? Happens while I'm at church. No, because I am so anal. I'm here at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm making sure everything's dialed up. I'm checking my internet speeds. I'm shutting stuff. I mean, I am. So no, luckily that hasn't happened to me because I'm weird.
Now, when Teresa has, like on Chris's podcast, when we do giveaways, Teresa has to do the hand jamming of the names and stuff in, right? But because she doesn't update she doesn't keep her computer on like I do and you do, it took me almost a day and a half to get her computer updated when we got home. And I told her, I said, if you cut it off again before we leave, I said, I will eviscerate you.
Yeah, just let it do its thing. I leave mine on. Anal or anal. Rev. I'm watching you, Rev. Yeah. Katie, glad you made it.
Katie Love.
Good evening, young lady. We talked about an FBI plot that was FBI, how they foiled a terrorist attack over in California. I'm sure you've heard about that. But what I would do, speaking of Twinks, and also I did mention that there was a pro-Palestinian aspect to that Turtle Island group. But Twinks and pro-Palestinian, it appears, Russ, that the Brown shooter could have potentially, allegedly, been both of those, and they now have a suspect who they're looking for. They've named him. They have DNA from him, her, that were on some of the shells that were not fired. Yeah. So apparently he had a problem within the classroom. Inside the classroom, the cameras were removed because since they were a sanctuary state, they didn't want any of their students being filmed because they were worried about the federal government. So there's no camera footage inside the classroom that this gentleman happened to. Patrick Sevens, they said the cops are now in a storage unit right now looking for the Brown shooter. Now they did find her abandoned car at a hotel. So it looks like the FBI is moving fast to stop this. It was really weird that the president of Brown University didn't really have much to say this week about the shooting. Didn't have much to say about what was going on. It was just a weird coincidence. I don't quite understand. Paul, have you been following any of that shooting at all?
I'm watching the live coverage on Fox News right now about it. The whole thing itself is
yeah.
This comment Kelly, right here, this comment that Kelly kind of summed it up. Like there's so much being thrown back and forth on both sides that that's me.
Yeah. Yeah. So you want to run that video, Pete, or you want me to try to run the one that I have?
No, Russ, I'm afraid to run the one you have right now. We'll run that next week when they catch the guy.
Yeah.
I don't know, Rev, if he she is. I heard allegedly that there was some kind of tendencies. Rev, I'm watching you very closely with your wording tonight. Uh, just to keep you on track, young man.
Yeah, Rev's off the hook tonight.
He's on
Yeah.
fire.
Man,
He gets here early.
he gets his eyes fixed and he just goes off the limb, man.
I want to know what he's drinking on tonight.
He doesn't drink.
don't drink.
He's clean and sober.
Oh.
Pete Will says, getting back to his prep of the week type of thing. I'm talking about suggesting for breast preps you think you've done, prepared citizens that we could learn, like finding resources when power goes out or go back. Yes, we are going to be doing a lot of that in the new year.
Yeah.
Go, Russ.
Well, and having said that, put me up on a bigger screen real quick.
I'll put you all the way up.
West Hightower recommended this book here, 365 Days of Survival by a Creative Audience. It says foundational critical thinking and skills for personal security, travel security, and survival. And it has just little stories once a day. I'm trying to find a short one. Most of them are short. It's got little stories in it. And
Gotcha.
it just talks about a little bit of like choosing the right hotel room.
So hold that up again. The book, that way we can see. 365 Days of Survival, Captive Audience. There you go. I'm going to look into that. I will order that. If I like it, we'll be giving one away also.
I will say this, that it was a little pricey, but I'm enjoying it thus far. A lot of it is common sense, so hotel room, Pete. If you had to stay in a hotel, what rooms would you stay in?
I'd say one close to the exit. I like one close to the exit, so like an end room where I've got one avenue of egress I have to worry about.
Okay, I'll agree to disagree.
Okay.
In the book, what it recommends is not directly next to an exit, because even as a bad guy, that's going to be their avenue of coming in. It'll make them easier to snatch and grab without being noticed.
Yeah, could be.
Okay.
I like.
Now,
It's like
in
I'm kind of
regards to
weird. Like
fire-
even when yeah.
Okay, somewhere between the second and fifth floor, right? Due to the ladders, that sort of thing. They say
I
don't use
mind
the
fires
first floor.
too much because I don't mind fires too much. Don't worry too much about fires because the stairwells are all fire rated and typically they have vents in them, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, it makes sense. I'll read it and I'll do it. 6 Mile Ruck will be sometime in February. The date is yet to be determined. That's that. Who's the author of that one, Russ?
Is called Captive Audience. Is the author? It's a group of people. This is a matter of fact, from what Wes told me, this gentleman will be at the class in February.
Oh, perfect. Okay,
This
look.
was made back in 2018. It was written back in 2018. Copyrighted. But he said, Wes says this is one of his heroes that wrote it. So it's actually a pretty good little read thus far.
There you go. Very good. Let's see what we got here. Okay, gotcha. All right, so back to the Brown shooter. Not Brown as in Brown, but Brown as in might be Brown because they haven't really released the guy's name. Kind of looks brown, though. I don't know. Not brown, but kind of a light brown. Not sure. But let's go run this video.
There's been a lot percolating out of this case today. We're going to find out what's real, what isn't, what these folks know. I mean, this is an intense manhunt that is going on now into day 5, searching for the shooter who made his way into a Brown University lecture hall and shot down and killed 2 beautiful young students. Police are looking for this man. We have all been looking at these images of him over the past several days. They want to question him. He was caught on security cameras. And then there's also a person of interest, someone who was, quote, in proximity of that person of interest. Investigators also say they do have some new evidence that includes DNA. Killed in that room, these beautiful, bright, young American students. 19-year-old Ella Cook from Alabama. She was vice president of the Brown College Republicans. 18-year-old Mohammed Aziz Umarzokov from Virginia. He was hoping to become a doctor. He wanted to go to medical school here. So we are just getting some new reporting that was, I'm sure you saw earlier, but we can now report this. And this is coming from Brooke Taylor, also working this case. Providence police have identified the suspected Brown University shooter, and they are also they have a warrant. So we're going to hear more about this, obviously, in just a few minutes at this news conference. And they're also investigating a possible link between the Brown University shooting and the MIT murder. Paul, I know you were also aware that this may be coming, and now we are getting some confirmation that this is what we're likely to learn here a few minutes away.
So the other person they were looking for might know who the individual is, because there was video of the two walking toward each other on the street, and the shooter actually turned around and ran off a side street. And what the news is saying is that might be because he was afraid that the other person might have recognized him. So the person of interest they are looking for is not a suspect, but he might have information. But all that's a moot point at this point. If they've got the guy, girl surrounded, I don't know. So that was interesting that they also said that person might be involved in the MIT professor shooting also. Russ,
so
add?
Go ahead.
No,
go ahead, Paula, real quick. I'm typing. Oh, I'm up. Hold on here. Let me go to my notes here. Rhode Island has one of the nation's strictest gun laws. But again, we all know a gun's a tool, and in the hands of a bad person, they be the bad things because they're already calling for more stricter gun laws. But the other clip we were talking about, you're talking about how the thinking is. The quote on this other one was done by a Providence PD spokesperson who happens to be a trans person. Asked the public to stop referring to the shooter as the Brown shooter because it has an Islamic connotation, and to stop posting pictures of the suspected shooter because this is a direct quote from the video. For the sake of diversity, we would like to pin this on a different ethnicity because it is unfair to keep blaming Islam for every violent act they commit.
Interesting. I don't know. I didn't follow that particular person too much, but that is the MO of the left anyway. So who knows? Speaking of tightening up, Paul, got anything to add to all that?
Hearing what the information that Russ provided, it's frustrating that we want individualism on one side, and until it becomes a tragedy, and then it's like, hold on, you can't single this group out, you can't single that group out. Well, saying the Brown shooter isn't saying that this is a brown person. They're talking about the university. It's not, we're not singling out a group when we talk about this. The media is not singling out a group. The public isn't singling out a group. They're talking about this incident. I have a lot I'd like to say, but I have to remember that I have to go to work tomorrow.
No, yeah. I get it.
Boy, Rev is fired up tonight.
Yeah, Rev's on a roll.
He might be back on the sauce. I don't know.
Yeah.
We need to fix you. I'm driving over. We're having an intervention, Rev, right now. But I'm happy that you're vocal. I love you, brother. Speaking of tightening up gun laws,
yeah,
that's actually what the Australian government wants to do right now, as if to blame the guns for the liberal policies of letting in a bunch of Islamic extremists into their country, taking the guns away from the legal people, the people that were legally able to have them, And so here's what you got. You got a 4-minute delay of a police presence after the shooting in Australia. You've got 35,000 people videoing the shooters from a very close distance, where if they tried that shit in Florida, there would be lead going in that direction, right? And this is the policies that the leftists have installed in Australia. This is why the once great nation of Australia is now a shithole, except for the Aborigine people who basically keep their stuff out in the woods and do their clucking and all that good stuff, which I appreciate that. But let's watch this video of the Australian shooters. It's a little bit lengthy, but I want two notes, guys. I want you to see the proximity of the people taking video. I want you to see how skilled these shooters were. Also, I would like for you to see how lucky the civilian was at the end of this video.
Very much so.
Australia.
I'm not joking. Yeah, one step shot, no more right.
So anyway, I jumped ahead a little bit because that was sketchy kind of video, but the guy at the end was a civilian. The two shooters were shot on the overpass there, and a civilian came in. I don't know what he was doing, but he almost took one to the dome. Good thing that the Australian cops suck at shooting, apparently, because that guy would have been toast. Let's see what else. I saw some notes about this up top. But yeah, cops are trying to give up, trying to talk the shooters down, Larry, right? And the one citizen, which was actually a Muslim himself, that went after one of the shooters, did not pull the trigger, allowing the other shooter to go back up, retrieve a firearm, and begin his terroristic activities.
Man.
So, Russ, what do you got? What do you think about all that?
Man, you know, they had, you know, there were a 60-year-old couple confronted those two shooters right off the bat, tried to wrestle the gun away from them, and they lost their lives, but they were proactive. The other one that wrestled the gun away from the son, the father was killed of that two people, and his son is now charged with 50 some odd crimes. that guy, he was an immigrant from he was a legal immigrant to Australia from Syria. He was Muslim, and that doesn't bother me because he ran toward the gunfire, and I applaud him for that. And um, again, we're not supposed to say it, but I mean, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It's happening all over the Western world now.
No, and it's in their ideology. There's nothing we can do about it. I've had people come speak to my church about it, and moderate Muslims. There's no such thing. They're moderate. I've said this before. I hold no qualms about it. They're moderate until they have numbers. A week prior to this shooting, an imam in Australia called for justified, in his words, justified violence against the infidels. So I don't know what else you need to know about the peaceful religion, but it's anything but.
I agree.
So I don't look. I don't know how quickly we forget after 9/11. How quickly we forget, and the Biden administration allowed that to come into our country. Liberal policies, woke policies, allowed them to overthrow Europe at this point, are allowing them to overthrow Australia, obviously, and we're only going to see more and more of that. Today or yesterday, there was another attack thwarted by Australian police for a similar attack in Australia. So this is not an isolated incident. There you go, Patrick. This is not an isolated incident. This is an ideology. And until we admit that we're under attack, that Christianity and the Western society is under attack from radical Islam, then there's no use. There's no use spouting about it. There's no use talking about it. Just get trained because it's coming to a city near you. I promise you that. Paul, you got anything to add to that carefully?
Well, I'm not going to talk about the situation itself, but the guy with his phone out taping it, he did his part. I mean, he recorded it, and die cunt was the best thing that he could do in that situation. I'm going to say, like, I was kind of torn on it because, like, I do respect it wasn't really a fight or flight moment for him. He just kind of hung out and watched the chaos.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I respect that a little bit.
There was an old Australian boy that came up once they were all on the ground. He was and they say guys with dad bods aren't heroes. Well, this dad bod Australian came up and delivered a swift kick to the head of one of the downed terrorists, which I appreciated.
Absolutely. Like your lovely daughter, her lesson of the day that she got from that.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty simple concept because what happened, right? What happened is they allowed him to go back up to that overpass, to that walkway, and retrieve another firearm, which they had another one, and began shooting again. Look,
and I tell you, I saw something online that they had received some training from somewhere, but it showed number one, they were in an elevated position, okay, and they had cover. Okay. And as we all know, there is a difference between cover and concealment. So they had cover from enemy fire.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, they had a plan, right? They had a plan. They had an
ideology. Premeditated.
They had an ideology that allowed them that indoctrinated them into executing that plan. Will, I think what I counted from the very first video that the police took 4 minutes to respond and start delivering gunfire back at them. Look, you're your own first responder. I don't know. I think I say that every week, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I say that every week. But I can tell you that if something like that were to happen in Florida, I would say there'd be outgoing fire. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, that was a easy shot. Even my buddy Jason could have made that shot.
And did you waste that one because he's not even in here?
Probably.
You wasted that one. Right?
I don't know. Today, Patrick, I heard that he was of the Islamic faith, but I need people. That's a Freudian slip, by the way. Seeing a lot of people saying he was a Lebanese Christian. Maybe, possibly. I'm not sure. That's only what
Yeah.
was reported today on the news.
You know, yeah. What I saw today was he was born in Syria. He is a Sunni. I want to say Sunni. Or he was either Sunni or a Shia Muslim. Being corroborated by his parents making statements, friends and family making statements on it. Take it for what you will. Snopes has debunked the Christianity one.
Oh, there you go. So there's no way a good Christian person could have done that. We've got currently 13 people signed up for Wyoming Falls 2, the free Audible version of that. Guys, remember Susie won Nick Meecher's book last week, so we really give stuff away.
Yeah, very well said, Larry.
Yeah, Larry, I'm with you. It doesn't really matter what he did his due diligence as a good citizen. Even if he was an immigrant into that country, he still looked out for the country. He still and let's not forget why this attack took place. This attack took place during Hanukkah, during a celebration of the Jewish people. Right, and this was a festival for them.
Yeah,
premeditated.
Hanukkah on the beach, I think is what it was
premeditated and sponsored, more than likely through the local mosques in the area. Who knows? Oh wow! Patrick says the guy that actually went ahead and stopped that guy has $2.5 million from a GoFundMe. Good for him.
Yeah, that GoFundMe is off the Tiny Hat Beach party.
That's funny. That's funny, Patrick. I like that.
That is funny. That is funny.
That's awesome. Oh, goodness. All right, back home to the speaking of corrupt governments, let's talk about our own. Back home here in the States, Dan Bongino has decided now that he is going to resign from the FBI come January 1st. There's speculation as to why. I'll give you my opinion after this video. But I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. What's your speculation in chat on why he's resigning? And we'll see if we find some common ground here. But may I ask what you're wanting us to sign up for? Sandy, it's not signing up for anything in particular. It's Wyoming Falls 2. The Audible book is out. So if you're interested in winning an Audible book, Wyoming Falls 2 by Millie Copper, type in hashtag WF2. That's Whiskey Foxtrot 2. And you'll be entered for the drawing. I'm not capturing emails or nothing. We're like legit just giving something away for free. Imagine that. Dan Bongino goes bye-bye.
We have a Fox News alert for you here. Deputy FBI Director Dan Bongino announcing on X just moments ago he is leaving the Bureau in January. He added this: I want to thank President Trump, AG Bondi, and Director Patel for the opportunity to serve with purpose. Most importantly, I want to thank you, my fellow Americans, for the privilege to serve you. God bless America and all those who defend her.
Ooh, Dana?
Yes.
I just got some breaking news.
Yes.
Fox is announcing a new show, Weeknights with Bongino.
What time?
11 p.m. 11 p.m. after Gutfeld.
Oh, that's Trace Gallagher. Yeah, don't.
Well, it's Trace and Dan. Okay. One's going to be on each coast.
With that.
Okay, Dan Bongino resigning January 1st. My thought process here is that he is resigning due to the Epstein files. My guess is they're not being released in a timely manner. Maybe there are corrupt politicians involved in these Epstein files. I think he knows that, and I think he feels like there's nothing can be done about it from the FBI standpoint, and I think that's why he's resigning. Any thought process there, guys?
I mean, why take strays when you don't have to? You know, just get out of the line of fire.
Well, and I think that's what somebody said here is yeah, K Love says doesn't want to be in the middle of corruption. I think it's rife within our government on both sides. Now, on the left, they're just retarded corrupt. On the right, they're just corrupt for the most part. Yes, I'm talking about the Orange Man. I get it. No, I know everyone thinks I love the Orange Man. No, if you're corrupt, you're corrupt. Don't care. But if your policies overwhelmingly support the American people, and my choice is cackling Kamala, it's gonna be with the Orange Man. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. Thoughts, Russ?
Yeah, I mean, I think it had a lot to do with that. He was always such a proponent of transparency. He did a lot of in regards to transparency toward cold cases, and it just wasn't getting the traction he was wanting to get. Teresa would be in the know with that one. I would have to give her props on that one. She's got some inside intel sometimes when it comes to stuff like that. I agree with Kelly.
Yeah, and I also think that Bongino was making a lot of money before he became the FBI director. He was making a ton of cash on his podcast, and I think he kind of misses out a little bit. So that might be a motivating factor going back into that.
Yeah, I think as well, the family life thing kind of took its toll. I mean, because if you're that high up in the FBI, you're probably never home.
Oh yeah, no, he's not home.
And he's a family guy. So.
Well, there you go, and that's what Patrick just said. It's ruined his marriage being in the FBI. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. I don't know what the answer to it all is. All I know is we'll find out soon enough because he will go back to podcasting and he does not have a filter. So come January, February, March, April, when he starts, I think he'll start spouting off at the mouth. He can't help himself, and we'll find out what the true deal is.
Oh, I'm sure. Teresa and I talked a little bit about that yesterday. He's going to have to sign all kinds of NDAs and stuff like that. And he's had to deal with that before, but he has a way of talking around it to get his point across.
Egghead, can you sign an NDA if it's not top secret information, government information? Can that if it's the people's government, there's no NDA as far as that's concerned, is there, Egghead? You would know above everybody if you're still around. I would like some insight on that. I mean, he could do NDAs with private citizens, but I'm not sure he can do an NDA when it comes to corruption within the government. That'd be something else.
Corruption, no, I would say.
Well, if you're hiding a list of people, that would be corruption, I would think. I don't know. Egghead, maybe he'll chime in and tell us.
Yeah, I hadn't seen him in here today.
Yeah, I think I saw him. Well, he's definitely in here because he signed up for the raffle.
Oh, awesome. Called being Clinton Pete.
Yeah, true story. Good stuff. So, Paul, you got any insight on the Bongino thing, buddy?
Aside from what I said, I've spent the past 10 plus years of my life allowing myself to be separated from my family for work and not even on a level like that. So you can see where it would tear apart, his marriage and his family life. But I'm going to agree with you on the Epstein files, and the coming months will be interesting to see the information that comes out.
Yeah, and if you thought he made a lot of money prior in his podcast, wait till it starts up again. This guy's not going to have to want for anything. He's going to make a ton of money, especially, and we'll see. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on that, but his mouth will will tell us everything we need to know. But I hope he just doesn't do like Candace Owens. Say something. If you're gonna say something, say it. Just don't ramble off with cryptic messages. Say something. Let's see what the messages have. I wonder if they hold the chains on those guys. I don't know, Rev. I wouldn't put it past any part of our government to do something like that, to be honest with you.
Okay. Sandy, use hashtag whiskey foxtrot 2 WF2 hashtag WF2. Just put it in chat, and then it should register over on our little wheel of death, and we'll be rolling for that in a minute.
Yeah, and guys, don't forget, you have to be present for that because you have to respond back in chat to show that you're here to accept the prize. So don't forget, you have to be present for that. You know what time it is, Russ?
It is about that time.
It is time. Boom. The prep of the week. guys. What'd you do this week, Russ?
What did I do this week? Well, I spent a lot of quality time this week with friends, Meta and Kelly. We're here over the weekend. Bullshite and Mrs. Bullshite were at the house on Saturday. She's a lovely lady, looking forward to coming to her very first mountain readiness.
Oh, she's coming. Nice.
She is coming. I've been trying to keep my sister's vehicle running. I got to replace the alternator in the morning. Reading that book and just kind of getting my mind right is what I did a lot of this week. It's been a long week.
Yeah. All right, Paulie, you getting in the prepping bandwagon yet? Have we converted you yet?
No, you guys have converted me. I spent some time talking to one of my sisters and my brother-in-law about the need to. I live out in the country, but they live even more out in the country. So kind of let's start stockpiling some stuff there. Let's start reinforcing. We're armed out there a little better than I am here, and just working with them on education, and we're all learning this stuff together. So just trying to build my little core of people.
So building your tribe, it's baby steps. You don't want to come off as a crazy conspiracy theorist. Things are going to go sideways, but guess what? Sooner or later, things are going to go sideways. Patrick Seven says he's got a level 3A bulletproof backpacks that they look exactly like normal. Those are really cool. They look like normal backpacks, and perfect. Good job, Patrick. Patrick's always prepping. I love that, guys. I trained my butt off yesterday. We ran a bunch of drills. Of course, I got the harvest right going full bore all week. Well, since I got back from Florida, so we're stockpiling a whole bunch of stuff. Did some training yesterday. Got my 308 Freedom Seed dispenser dialed in,
nice.
And that made me happy. And also, we did some sprints yesterday. Probably why Jason isn't on tonight.
Oh, he's in there now. He just showed up.
Oh, he is. Okay,
Yeah.
so there he is. No, so this is good. Oh, great, he is in there. We learned that AKs work better than ARs. Actually, they didn't. I think most of the failures yesterday were from AK-47s as opposed to AR platforms. I don't know what to tell you there, but not to mention, let's get back to my personal training. When I was running with these guys, a timed event, and I smoked them, Russ. Smoked them. It was about a 50-yard dash. You went, you took a knee, you put a shot on a target, and there's someone there that other than Jason. Guy is in the house. He'll corroborate my story here. I whooped these boys' butts. It wasn't even close. I think the closest one to me might have been Guy, actually. Jason was a good 3 or 4 seconds behind me. So
okay, so my only question is, okay, had a gun. Was somebody chasing you with a bigger gun? Why were you running?
Because it's about getting your heart rate up. It's actually getting and putting yourself in a stressful situation.
I'll agree with that. I'll definitely agree with that. I was just poking the bear.
No, definitely. And Jason is a fiend for running and gunning for some reason, which there's only so many times I've got to make them look bad on the range before they realize I'm that guy.
You said you're running 50 yards. I mean, what are you doing? Down and back on Jason's property?
No, we were at my property. But the key was
I'm just messing with you, Jason.
The key was that you had to get there and your time, but you had to make a shot on target. If you didn't make the shot on target, guess what you had to do? Go do it again. So you had one shot, put it on target. If not, back, do it again. Yeah, it was rough. Luckily for me, every time I ran it, I'm that guy, right, Jason? I'm that guy that just makes a shot on the first time. So yes, I had to run it a couple of times just to try to better my time because that's what I do. But what are you gonna do? Yeah, that's a good point. I've learned a new thing now that she's on to all my black guns. So now immediately before they come in the house, I rattle can them to all look the same.
Had 'em for a while.
So I'm with you. Very cool stuff. So that's it. That is prep of the week. You guys ready for this? Last chance, guys. If you haven't
Well,
hit,
we got a couple other preps of the week that got thrown
throw 'em up.
in. Let me
Ooh,
go
here's
back
Larry.
up to the top.
Field cards for the radios. I'm passing out the family limit. That's a good thing. We're all on credit card size, direction, and radio function. That's perfect. That's what I gave to for TCCC cards. I gave that to the group. That's going to be our next scenario. We're going to be doing TCCC stuff. So if you're a member of my group, refresh yourself with TCCC stuff, because I'm already planning an entire scenario that we will be getting our heart rate up. We will be moving people. We will be doing stuff, pulling security and stuff like that. So TCCC is our next scenario for my group if you're here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
toilet
cool.
paper rolls filled with lint from the drum. And kind of a caveat on
Yep.
that. A lot of people use Vaseline and cotton balls. Okay. Use Neosporin instead of the Vaseline. It works the same, and it's better for, cuts and bruises, cuts and nicks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I never did the Vaseline. Now I have a tin. I have a pill bottle full of cotton balls that I've never put Vaseline on them. I just use them. I spread them out and I use them as tin. They work fine. I don't know.
Yeah.
Caleb says she bought a book series Firefox on Amazon, recommended by Carl and Randy from Tactical Rifleman.
Yep, I have it. I have the Firefox on book, a hardcover, or paperback as well. It's a little on the pricey side for the full set. I think I paid, back when I did it, I paid like $200 for it. But it's good to have those paper copies. Rev says he tested his new eyeballs at the range.
And how'd you do, Rev? Rev, why don't you come down here and spend a day with me, brother, so we can see how you're doing and get you dialed in with that new Freedom Seed shooter. No, not for toilet paper. I mean, you can, I reckon, but that's for starting fire, Kelly. I don't know what you're doing down there, but
let's see. Okay, that's interesting. I'll have to try that one, Patrick. If you crush in powder eggshells and then mix it with a high concentration of alcohol, you can make flame gel.
Calcium carbonate, I think, might be. Fireman Ed said he bought portable air compressors for his off-road tires. Outstanding. Good. So you guys are prepping. I love it. That's what we started this podcast for. So I'm very good. I'm very glad that you guys are doing that. Russ, it's time.
It is time.
16 people who want to win this free book. Guys, when you win, don't forget you have to respond in the comments after your name is called, and then I need your email address because I will give you the Audible version.
Send me either me or Pete your email address.
All right, let me go to this thing here and see if it works.
Okay, you got it up?
It works. Let's get Paulie in here.
Yeah, I got him.
Boom. There you go.
There we go.
All right. Perfect. Here we go. We're rolling. Last chance. All right, let's do it.
Well, let's roll this beautiful bean footage.
Meta.
Miss Meta.
Did my job.
It's the wrong one, Meta. Sorry.
Yeah, let's see if she's in here. You got to respond something, Meta.
Meta, type something. Kelly, smack your wife.
Make Meta type something.
She got it. All right. Good
there
job,
you go.
Meta. All right. We will I'll get that over to you. Click on the promo and the code will be there. Just send me your email address, young lady. And that is
well,
Wyoming
man,
too.
It's kind of a bittersweet night, man. This is the last one of the year.
Yep, we are on. That's it. We did. I don't know. I think we did 53 podcasts this year.
Yeah, it's been
53 podcasts.
That's a lot.
Not 53.
No.
Yeah, we did because we had some extra ones on there. So I've got actually 53 times we went live, whether it be for special things like the Charlie Kirk thing and stuff like that.
Yep.
But that's what I have on the agenda. We will not be doing that many next year. I promise you that. So,
He says that now.
if a comment is removed by the moderator and you reply to it, it will show up what the comment is.
Okay, so
Patrick always
Patrick
knows how
and,
to beat the system.
yeah, Patrick was saying how to make Kill Bill and Napalm, and they bleeped out part of it, so he responded to it, and it obviously showed it. But yeah, it's the last one of the year. Taking a little bit of a hiatus over the holidays. We'll be back. Let me see what my calendar says. I think we discussed trying to get organized for the new year.
You're still using paper and stuff. That's cool.
Let's see here. Should be the 8th of January.
Perfect. And I think we're going to have Wes Hightower on then. So we need to reach out to him and get him dialed in. The new book is coming slow. I haven't touched it in about 2 weeks, Will.
2 months.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah, 2 months for me.
But it's going. Guys, well, we'll run through and do our thing. Paul, let's give you your parting words, brother.
Well, with this being the last show of the year, I'm glad to have been brought into this community and get to know a lot of you guys, via Facebook Messenger, things like that. Look forward to actually meeting everybody in the new year. And just a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody, and reach out to those you think may or may not need it.
Perfect. Russ, you're up, brother. What do you got to say?
Well, guys, it's been a busy year. We put out a ton of podcasts. I've enjoyed every last minute of it, spending it with you guys over here on Kick, especially. You guys get a little crazy, and I like it. It makes the time fly by. We're sitting here, we go for an hour, and it just goes like that. Hope to see a lot of you at the events we have going on this summer. We've got 4 events in readiness this year, to include the one out in Montana. We will be there. We have CanCon again this year. We had a great time there. We're hoping to bring you better and better content next year. And we've taken notes as to what you guys want, and we're going to try to get that for you. But as always, guys, remember, it's better to be someone's shot of whiskey than everybody's cup of tea. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
There you go. Thank you, Russ. Well said, young man. Well said. Yeah, no, I'm not committing to anything next year. The only thing I'm committing to is mountain readiness. The first one, for sure. There is some talk about going to Montana. I haven't decided on that. Haven't decided on CanCon. Haven't decided on anything. So you get what's next in line, which is mountain readiness in May. Other than that, whatever she tells me to do. Guys, look, things are heating up out there. It's obvious, right? We talked about this. CIA Sarah talked about this. This is what the intelligence community has warned us about, regardless of what our government has warned us about. We're seeing a rise in Islamic extremism. We're seeing a rise in leftist trans terrorism. We're seeing a rise in Antifa-style terrorism, and we will continue to see that, especially as midterms get closer and closer. So remember, guys, always be safe. And if you can't be safe, be dangerous. Thanks for watching the Eden Army podcast. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And remember, be safe. If you can't be safe, be dangerous.